Master the proven playbook that turned her OnlyFans side hustle into a $50 million empire, and get the insider safeguards to protect your earnings from vanishing overnight. The problem she experienced? Well, she earned $50 million, dominating OnlyFans, then lost it all to savage taxes, reckless spending, platform crackdowns, and betrayal, mirroring the nightmare 95% of creators face, grinding endlessly just to end up broke and burned out. Now there's a solution here. I'll break down her explosive rise, but also reveal the 9 critical sections that wiped out her wealth, and hand you her proven recovery plan. Tune in to master creator riches without the epic crash. Okay, so picture this. It's 2019. She was nobody. No followers, no platform, no audience, but she recognized an untapped opportunity. OnlyFans allowed creators to monetize directly, bypassing traditional gatekeepers that historically extracted 70%, 80% of earnings. This really was revolutionary. Within 3 months, 10,000 paying subscribers at $25 per month, she had $250,000 of monthly revenue. This validation felt intoxicating, so she reinvested everything: better cameras, professional lighting, equipment, dedicated editing teams, managers, accountants. By month 6, 50,000 subscribers, $1.25 million monthly. By month 12, 200,000 subscribers. This was $5 million of monthly revenue. The momentum felt unstoppable and, at this point, inevitable. She became the blueprint everyone studied. Media outlets featured her story, other creators copied her strategies, but this explosive growth masked critical vulnerabilities that she never anticipated or addressed. When income accelerates exponentially, the human brain doesn't recalibrate expectations rationally. Instead, it anchors to the peak and assumes that peak is the permanent floor. She believed $5 million monthly was forever, not just a temporary spike. And this psychological distortion manifested tangibly. She purchased an $8 million mansion. She bought a $500,000 luxury car. She gifted properties to family members. She traveled constantly, first-class flights, 5-star resorts, exclusive experiences. She justified every expenditure as, I'm making $5 million a month, so this is sustainable, this is forever. The mathematical reality that she ignored was that a $3 million monthly spent on lifestyle and operations, with $2 million remaining for taxes and savings, except she wasn't saving, she was spending that too. She consumed 100% of income while completely ignoring tax obligations and platform risk. The psychological trap is insidious and destructive. Wealth creation and wealth preservation require fundamentally different mindsets. She excelled at the former. She ignored the latter completely, which proved to be a fatal error. OnlyFans controls everything that matters: pricing, payment processing, content moderation, account suspensions, and revenue distribution. She never owned her subscriber list. She couldn't email them directly. She couldn't migrate them to another platform. She couldn't negotiate with the company. She was entirely dependent on OnlyFans' infrastructure, algorithms, goodwill, and this is a vulnerability that would prove catastrophic. This dependency became critical when OnlyFans implemented stricter content guidelines in response to regulatory pressure and payment processor demands. The platform began enforcing aggressive content policies, algorithmic suspension of certain creator categories, and payment processing complications with Visa and MasterCard. Subscribers started vanishing simultaneously, of course. Her monthly revenue declined catastrophically. 5 million went to 3.5 million, went to 2 million, went to 1 million, all in a matter of weeks. The algorithm had turned against her. She had no recourse, no negotiating power, and no backup plan. She built an empire on rented land owned by someone else. Most creators never consider platform risk until they experience it firsthand. By then, it's far too late to recover. So she made a catastrophic assumption. $50 million in revenue equals $50 million in personal wealth. This is fundamentally incorrect and represents the most common financial mistake among creators, entrepreneurs, and any high-income earners globally. Content creators operate as self-employed individuals responsible for federal income taxes, state income taxes, self-employment taxes, social security, Medicare, and potential sales tax obligations. The tax burden isn't optional. It's legally mandated and enforced aggressively, of course, by the IRS. Her actual tax liability of approximately 45 to 50% of gross revenue, well, that means her $50 million revenue, this should have generated 22 to 25 million in tax obligations over 5 years. Instead of setting aside these funds, she spent them. She treated revenue as personal income without understanding that 45 cents of every dollar legally belonged to federal and state governments. When tax season arrived, she discovered she owed $18 million in back taxes across 5 years. The IRS sent formal notices of assessment. Payment plans were established, but the timeline created cascading financial pressure. She was now paying taxes on income that had already declined by 80%. She couldn't afford the payments. The debt spiral tightened inexorably. So let's examine exactly where her $50 million in accumulated revenue actually went over 5 years. First, real estate purchases, $18 million. She purchased primary residences, vacation homes, investment properties. These assets appreciated nominally, but required ongoing property taxes, maintenance, insurance, staffing costs. Mansions generate negative cash flow. She now owned $18 million in illiquid assets requiring $200,000 of monthly maintenance costs. Then there's the luxury vehicles and the lifestyle, $12 million. She had cars worth $500,000, designer fashion collections, jewelry and collectible art. These depreciated immediately upon purchase. A car that she might have bought for $500,000 is now worth $300,000. Luxury goods represent pure consumption with zero appreciation potential. And these are just part of what then you add on failed business ventures. $8 million. Startups, businesses, partnerships, entrepreneurial ventures. Most required ongoing capital infusions. None generated meaningful returns. Some were outright scams perpetrated by people leveraging her celebrity status and wealth. Then there's the personal spending and transfers, $7 million. Gifts to family members, travel expenses, staff compensation, allocated to non-essential spending. Then there's the back tax payments, $5 million, during the crisis period that we talked about. And the result of all of this, liquid assets remaining, zero, nothing. She had no emergency fund, no diversified investment portfolio, no income generating assets, and no long-term wealth storage mechanisms. Everything was consumption-based or illiquid real estate holdings. Rapid wealth attracts specific relationship dynamics, predatory ones. People suddenly reappeared from her past seeking reconnection. Family members requested loans that were never repaid. Friends suggested businesses and partnerships designed to exploit her assets and connections. Romantic partners materialized seemingly out of nowhere, each offering emotional support and long-term commitment, until the money started declining. When her income collapsed to $500,000 monthly, the relationships dissolved simultaneously like dominoes falling. Family members stopped calling, friends disappeared completely, the romantic partner left within weeks. She discovered the painful truth. Most relationships were entirely transactional, anchored solely to her wealth rather than her character or values. This emotional trauma compounded the financial crisis exponentially. She was simultaneously experiencing financial devastation and social abandonment. The psychological impact proved as devastating as the financial consequences themselves. She isolated herself, avoided advice from rational mentors, and made increasingly irrational decisions regarding her remaining assets. She was grieving the loss of identity that she'd constructed around wealth. Wealth reveals true relationships, but it also attracts predatory dynamics that exploit vulnerability. When her income dropped below $500,000 a month, the entire financial infrastructure collapsed catastrophically. She could no longer afford her entire professional team, managers, editors, accountants, support staff. She laid off everyone simultaneously. Content quality declined precipitously without professional production support. Subscribers noticed the degradation immediately and cancelled memberships in waves. Revenue accelerated downward with terrifying velocity. 500,000 became 300,000. That became 150,000. That became 75,000. And then it became 50,000 in as little as 3 months. She attempted to stabilize by raising subscription prices, which again backfired spectacularly. Subscribers perceived the price increase as greedy exploitation from a creator they'd watched decline. Cancellations spiked again. Revenue fell below even 50,000 now. But the $18 million tax bill remained consistent, regardless of current outcome. The IRS began garnishing earnings aggressively, freezing accounts and threatening property seizures. She attempted to liquidate real estate holdings to raise capital, but the market timing was terrible. She was selling during a downturn, forced to accept discount offers. She sold properties at substantial losses. She borrowed against remaining properties at unfavorable rates with predatory lenders. The debt spiral tightened inexorably. Within 6 months, technically bankrupt despite earning $50 million, zero cash reserves, mounting debt obligations, income collapsed by 95%, the psychological realization hit devastatingly hard. She had built nothing permanent. What she should have understood from the beginning, there are fundamental financial principles that separate people who build lasting wealth from those who experience catastrophic collapse. Number 1, revenue is not the same as wealth. Revenue is the money flowing into your business. Wealth is the assets that you retain after expenses, taxes, and obligations. Most creators confuse these concepts fundamentally. They earned 50 million in revenue but retained essentially zero in permanent wealth. Revenue is vanity, profit is reality. Wealth is what remains after everything is paid. Principle 2, the 50-30-20 rule. Professional athletes, entertainers, high-income earners follow this principle religiously. Allocate 50% to taxes and legal obligations, 30% to reinvestment and business operations, and only 20% to personal lifestyle. She did the opposite, spending 60% and saving 0%, ignoring taxes completely. Principle 3, platform diversification. Never depend on a single platform for all your income. Build YouTube channels, Patreon communities, newsletter digital products, physical products, speaking engagements. Create strategic redundancy. If one platform fails, others sustain you. She had zero diversification, catastrophic vulnerability. Principle number 4, asset building versus consumption. Real estate, strategic locations, investment portfolios, intellectual property, and business equity appreciate over time. Luxury cars, designer fashion, lifestyle spending depreciate immediately and generate zero returns. Distinguish between the two ruthlessly. And then principle number 5, emergency reserves. Maintain 12 to 24 months of living expenses in liquid, accessible accounts. This provides psychological safety and rational decision-making capacity during crisis. She had zero, no reserves despite extreme income volatility. Today, she's rebuilding from zero, but with hard-earned wisdom. She works a standard job earning $60,000 annually while paying down tax debt through structured payment plans. She lost the mansion, the vehicles, and most of the real estate holdings too. But here's the redemptive aspect. She now understands the financial principles that eluded her during wealth accumulation. She's rebuilding slowly, methodically, and sustainably. She's learning that true wealth isn't the peak income figure. It's the assets that you retain and the financial freedom that you've constructed. She's rebuilding her creator income across multiple platforms simultaneously. She's learning to save aggressively. She's studying tax implications before making any purchases. Her $50 million rise and collapse represents a cautionary tale and an educational blueprint for everyone building creator income. This creator's story isn't unique. Thousands of entrepreneurs, influencers, high-income earners follow this identical pattern: explosive growth, psychological misalignment, platform vulnerability, fatal mistakes, and catastrophic collapse. Don't become this statistic. Build multiple income streams. Understand taxes before earnings. Allocate 50% to obligations immediately. Invest in appreciating assets and maintain emergency reserves. Subscribe for more analysis on wealth dynamics, creator economics, and financial principles that separate sustainable success from temporary peaks. Thanks for watching. Build wisely, protect your earnings, and create permanent wealth.